Welcome back. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on some of Hollywood's best-kept secrets. We are diving deep into the world of blind items. You know, those anonymous, juicy rumors that hint at major celebrity scandals without actually naming names. Let's see what might really be going on.
So, where do we even begin? We're talking about everything from super complicated love lives to friendships that have totally fallen apart, and yeah, even some pretty major scandals. We've got a lot to cover based on the breakdown we're digging into today.
All right, let's kick things off with Couples in Question. We're going to explore some of the alleged drama that's supposedly happening behind closed doors in some of the most watched relationships in Hollywood.
Okay, so this first blind item, it's aimed squarely at one of the hottest new couples out there, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. And wow, it suggests let's just say a very unconventional arrangement.
I mean, on the surface, everything looks picture perfect, right? The story we're all hearing is that this is the healthiest, most drama-free relationship Kylie has ever had. There are even whispers that Timothy is excited to be a dad. It really does sound like a modern fairy tale.
But here's the big twist. This blind item alleges there is a pretty significant catch to this whole modern romance. Apparently, Kylie is still very much involved with her ex and the father of her two kids, the rapper Travis Scott.
And that lingering connection to Travis Scott, well, that's where all the speculation comes from. We're talking rumors about a potential third baby with him. And yeah, a recent Valentine's post definitely got fans worried that she and Timothy had split, but the original breakdown we're looking at insists they're still together, just keeping things super, super private. Next up, the rumor mill seems to be pointing its finger directly at Maroon 5's Adam Levine. And look, he is definitely no stranger to public accusations of cheating, but this particular blind item suggests a whole new storm is brewing.
Of course, who could forget the most talked about allegation? That came from model Sumner Stroh. She claimed she'd had a year-long affair with the married singer, and well, she brought some very specific and very awkward receipts with her.
I mean, this message right here, it just shows you the sheer audacity of the whole situation. Levine allegedly asked Stroh if it was cool to name his and his wife's unborn child after her. It's just a wild claim. Now, Levine did deny the affair itself, but he did admit to crossing a line with some inappropriate messages.
Okay, so moving on from messy love lives, let's talk about messy friendships. This next section is all about friends and frenemies, and we're looking at some alliances that have supposedly gone sour in really public and, frankly, dramatic ways.
So get this. This blind item hints at some serious blackmail drama involving two people who used to be absolute best friends, Taylor Swift and model Karlie Kloss. The item is suggesting that someone close to Karlie is ready to spill all the secrets for the right price.
What's so fascinating here is how you can literally track their friendship falling apart in public, from being totally inseparable to basically strangers. The analysis connects this whole fallout to a really popular theory, that Karlie Kloss might have accidentally told Scooter Braun that Taylor's music masters were up for sale, which, as you know, kicked off the biggest business battle of Swift's entire career.
All right, let's switch it up again. This next item alleges there was a major professional snub between Jennifer Lopez and Bad Bunny. Now, that word illiterate in blind items, it's usually code for someone whose first and last names start with the same letter. The allegation is that Bad Bunny deliberately shut her out of his Super Bowl performance. And this is where it gets really interesting, right? You see this huge difference between what was said publicly and what was allegedly happening privately. Out in the open, J.Lo was all supportive, but the breakdown claims that behind the scenes, she was furious. And the reason for the snub? Apparently, Bad Bunny just didn't want to deal with her famously demanding personality.
Okay, and for our last section, we're getting into the really heavy stuff. We're talking about some of the most serious allegations connecting some of Hollywood's biggest names to major legal scandals that have absolutely shocked the world.
This one is pretty dark. This ominous blind item is said to be about none other than George Clooney. The claim is that he is deeply, deeply worried about his name showing up in connection with the infamous Jeffrey Epstein case files.
So the breakdown we're looking at pieces together a few really disturbing claims. First, it's alleged that some parties people thought were at Leonardo DiCaprio's house were actually at Clooney's famous place on Lake Como. Then there's a more direct link, an email where someone with Epstein allegedly asked for a muse and specifically says, same as George Clooney. And finally, he's mentioned in a story from victim Virginia Giuffre's memoir. Now, to be clear, Clooney has reportedly denied ever meeting Ghislaine Maxwell and is horrified by the whole thing.
And you know, to add even more fuel to the fire,
The analysis also brings up the timing of Clooney's recently announced move to France with this family. The question being asked is it just a simple escape from American politics, or is it maybe conveniently time to get some distance from these stories as they start to come out?
So at the end of the day, what are we left with? Look, these are all unverified claims and anonymous rumors, but they definitely paint a picture of a really complex and, let's be honest, often dark world that's operating just beneath the shiny surface of Hollywood. And it really makes you ask yourself, in a world that's built on image and illusion, where does the performance stop and reality actually begin?